Sunday to everybody. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out. Gonna make some steak and eggs today. Nothing super fancy, but for some reason people have a lot of hard time with steak and eggs, so I'm gonna show you how I do steak and eggs. So if anybody's out there and if they can hear and see me okay, hit the like button and let me know. For some reason, just let me log in here to the comment section. There we go. All set. Get over to where I'm at. Screwed me up this morning. I'm out of coffee. I ran out of coffee. I thought my delivery would be here in time to make coffee, and that did not happen. So I am coffeeless this morning. Might have to make some tea. Might have to make some tea to get everything going. There we go. See if anybody's in yet. But yeah, today we're going to be using a Wagner 5-star skillet combo cooker, and this was actually I'm kind of on a streak with heirloom pieces. Last Thursday we used an heirloom piece. I don't know why I can't say heirloom this morning, but probably because I'm at coffee. But and this is also an heirloom piece. This was Graham's, and she was the only person to ever own it until I owned it. But I'm not the only person that ever used it. That's for sure. The lighting in here, seems like the lighting's kind of dark. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's just darker outside. Maybe it's because that's what it is. But anyway, yeah, so they made these about 1940, 1941. That's what it says when I looked these up years ago when I got it. And this was actually sitting in her pantry. I'd never seen this. It was up on a top shelf, and I was at her house, and my uncle asked me, who's the last person that still lives in that house, he asked me to get something down for him, and I got up a ladder, and I got up and I climbed up because it's a floor-to-ceiling cabinet, and the ceiling's really, really high at their house. And at the very top, next to the cookie sheets that he wanted me to get down, this was sitting there next to a large logo Griswold. So I got these down and cleaned them up, and I've had it ever since, and I absolutely love it. Hopping in and out, yeah, that's great. That's fine. Let's see. So yeah, so that's what we'll be using today, and I absolutely love this skillet. It still sits flat. The tops of these never sit flat, and I'll show you that here in a second. But the skillet, am I back far enough you guys can actually see that? But the skillet is on a hinge here in the back, and it has the lid. Is also a griddle, so I'll be making my eggs on that this morning. Now, one thing about these is if you go to buy one, they are pretty costly, very expensive. But the thing about it is if you get one and the lid part doesn't sit flat, they never sit flat. I've never found another one that sits flat. I don't know if they came that way, if they just got, but you can see how bad that spins. But on my electric stove, the spinning doesn't really matter because I have that little spot, and it's all in the center. I mean, it's a rocker and it's a roller. As the AC/DC song goes, it's a flat out of controller. But yeah, it's definitely a spinner, and I've never found a flat one. So if anybody has one, and all that, if you have one and you have the lid's flat, man, that's. You just, that makes it all that more valuable. But yeah, these are fairly rare. There's another one, if you see on the back here, you can see where it says 5-star skillet. And then the part number at the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, it says 1403. And then the 1402, they have Wagner also made a 1402, which is a lot bigger. It's actually a deep skillet with a it's a deep chicken fryer combo cooker, and it has the deep, the lid is deeper, more like a regular skillet, and it's pretty good sized. So anyway, I'm gonna turn my oven on. I'm actually gonna open the, because I've got a biscuit that I'm gonna reheat from the 2-ingredient biscuits we made a couple weeks ago. I dug one of those out of the freezer, and I'm gonna open this door because it's pretty hot in here today already. Rookie, how's it going? What's up, buddy? Good to see you. But yeah, we'll bring you back in here a little closer like that. And I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna move that out of the way because we're gonna start heating our skillets up. But I'm gonna use the top for the eggs and I'm gonna use the bottom for the steak. And let me move one skillet off my counter here, off the stove. And I'll put that over here so we can start heating it up, and then I'll show you the steak that we'll be using. And I need to get out a couple eggs. I forgot, I keep saying I'm gonna get the eggs out, and I keep forgetting. But I do want to get a couple eggs out. Ooh, skillets, yeah, 100%. 100%. What kind of skillets? This is you must have just missed it. I just flipped it over and showed that it is a Wagner 5-star combo skillet. And we're gonna use the top for our eggs, and we're gonna use the bottom for the steak. The steak itself. So that's what we're using today. It's gonna be fairly easy, but for some reason people have a lot of trouble with steak and they have a lot of trouble with eggs, especially for folks just getting into cooking with cast iron or not familiar with it. But one of the other things that I want to show you guys with these, if you can see that really well, I love these handles. Absolutely love these handles. I wish they would have put these style handles on more of the Griswold stuff. It's really got, it's sort of the World War II look, sort of past the deco look. I don't know if the deco was still going on in 1941 when they made these, if that's still that era, but I really dig them, and they both have them. They both have, the top and the bottom both have those cool little grooves on the handles. I think they're cool. And the other one has it, as far as I know, the 1402, the bigger one, has the same style handles as well. I can sometimes make, oh, you love steak? Yeah, who doesn't? I'm a steak fanatic. And so yeah, I'm gonna put these off to the side and we'll move the steak up there. And I'll get those, put the steak up here. And we got about a 1-inch, it's a 1-inch New York strip is what that one is. And what I did was I put it, before I went to bed last night, I took it, got out of the package and unwrapped it and all that stuff. And then I set it on this wire rack and I salted it. I let it dry out. Now one of the reasons that I do that is, one, it helps with the sear, to sear the steak. And the other thing is that it really helps reduce the amount of smoke. So that's another good deal with the, with taking them out and letting them dry like that. They just come out a lot better when you let them sit in the refrigerator on a rack and sort of air out. That's what my daughter calls it, airing out the steaks. So, and it's got a nice, I mean, it's marbled really nice. It's got a nice fat cap on it, so it should be, I'm actually, I thought about trimming the edge of that off and using that to render down into the pan and render some of that fat into there. But as you can see on the stove, as bad as that was a spinner, when I put it on the stove, it's almost negligible. I mean, it doesn't really, because I have a gas stove and or a electric stove with that little divot in the center anyway, so it doesn't really do much. Heather White, what's up? How are you? That's a bad meat there, Gordon. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. And I'm absolutely famished. I haven't had breakfast yet, and I've been up since about 6 o'clock. I almost ended up at the gas station getting a slice of breakfast pizza this morning. I was really hungry when I woke up, but I knew I had this kind of a big meal. We'll fry up some potatoes with that. We're getting these, like I said, we're getting these. You always want to heat up your skillets before you start with them. But famished, yeah, absolutely. Make me some, please. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I thought I had my glasses out here too, which I do not. So I'm gonna have to be doing a little squinting toward the screen on the other side of the room. But yeah, we'll get you guys back over that way. We're just gonna let those heat up. And we'll come back over this way. I've got a biscuit that I'm gonna throw into the oven. The oven's heating up and I've got another piece in there. Let's see. What's going on, Lee? Good to see you. I am currently making a Sunday chicken roast. Glass of Cabernet Merlot in hand. Billie Holiday on the record player. Perfect Sunday. That does sound like a great Sunday. Nothing wrong with a nice big chicken. Nothing wrong with the chicken in the pots. Oh, there we go. Move my and get my plate over here. I'll leave now. I'll take me a tiny bit to get there from Australia. Oh, yeah, it'll be a while. I think it's like, what is that? It's like an 18-hour flight from where I am. I think it's like 18 hours. Yeah, we got these heating up, and we'll do these in a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter. And I'm going to use, normally when I do these, I use unsalted butter, but I'm going to go for, I'm going to actually use salted butter today. Let's get this over there. Let's see, I'd much rather have the steak, you guys. I can't lie. I don't know. I like a good, it's been a while since I got a steak, and I was kind of mad. I broke these out of the freezer yesterday. I was mad because the one is a perfectly 1-inch thick cut, and then the other one is, which is still in the refrigerator, it's cut at an angle. So like there's a really thick part of the steak and then there's a really thin part of the steak. And I'm like, well, I can't really use that. So I think I'll cut it in half and I'll make like a smaller steak out of the other one, and then I'll cut the other one and make like a steak sandwich, I guess, is what I'll be doing. Cindy Jones, hi, how are you? Ronald Coward, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Kicking it with Donna. Hey, Donna, what's going on? Yeah, but, yeah, so I was kind of bummed out. I mean, when you pay a good money for steaks, big beef shortage. The beef shortage has got a lot to do with it. And the lack of, a lot of people think that there's the price of beef is a lot of things, but when it really comes down to what the price of beef, why it's so high, is people aren't producing beef like they were, and they've had a lot of herd kills. So, that's the big reason. People just don't raise as much cattle as they used to. There's a lot of regulations involved with it and all this other stuff that didn't used to be there. And people are getting out of they're actually getting out of the business of cattle farming. So that's one of the big reasons that prices are so high. Let's see, my daughter has loved steaks and meat on the bone. She would sit on that. Color Pebbles from Flintstone. Yeah. Yeah, my other, Ming, my youngest daughter, well, they all love it when Dad makes the steaks. And when I said I was having steak today, Ming went out and got herself a steak. She was like, oh, I wish I could make the drive down and come and have a steak with you today. Yeah, there's all kinds of new folks in here today. And some of our regulars. But let me go ahead. I'm going to throw that biscuit in and heat that up. We're still waiting on these. This one's heating up enough for the eggs, but we're going to wait. And then once I throw that in, I'm going to cut up a potato, and we're going to have fried potatoes with that. And that's pretty much what we're going to do. Yeah, people have, they've just, the producer, it's so regulated anymore, and I'm not going to get into the politics of it because that could take forever, but yeah, people have just gotten away, beef farmers. Like where I grew up, like a mile down the road from me, we had a huge beef processor. And that's no longer, just that alone, that's not there. And other people that used to raise cattle where I was from, they quit raising it. Just because the regulations are so, And when one cow gets sick, then they all go. Or if a cow anywhere gets sick, then they all go. It's, you know, it's actually pretty sad that they have to, you know, they have the size of the herd kills that they do anymore. And that's a legitimate thing. Put that on there. But yeah, we're just waiting on that, and then we get Tammy Verlander. What's going on? How are you? Good to see you. But yeah, once we get that going, usually I would heat this up and have it heated up for my stuff, but I wanted to show this to you guys, especially the people that collect the cast iron out there, like I do. The 5-star skillet's really cool. It's hard. They're hard to come by, and they used to not be. I mean, even they've always been pricey. They've always, you know, but they've really, the last couple of years, these particular ones have really jumped up in price, and the bigger ones are just, the 1402s are crazy priced right now. So, you know, a lot of times people don't, and a lot of times, you know, I've never seen one in real life other than the one that I have. So, you know, it's not like they're out there. They're pretty rare pieces. Anonymous user. Hi, what are we making? We're making steak and eggs this morning. Keeping it pretty simple. I'm gonna fry up some potatoes in the steak grease when it's done. But other than that, yeah, I'm keeping it pretty simple today. But I also wanted to show you guys how I do steak. People have a hard time with steak. I'm not really sure why that is, but you know, and there's a million different ways. There's actually, you know, there's just so many different ways to make steak. It's like tomahawk steaks. The worst way I've ever had a tomahawk steak is when I've done the reverse sears on them. And I've done them textbook, and I've done textbook reverse sears, and they've never tasted that great. But then I do them like I do a regular steak on the grill. I mean, it takes a little bit longer because of the thickness, but then they turn out great. Maybe that's just how I like my steak. I don't know. Sears the trick. It is. It really is, Daniel. Oh, hey Dan, what's up, buddy? Just had a steak ruined at Texas Roadhouse last night. Maybe I can have the manager subscribe to the staff to your channel. Yeah, man, that sucks. You know, that's one place, man, that I just honestly do not like. I've never liked. The only thing I ever like at Texas Roadhouse is the bread. I like the bread and that butter that they give you. That's about all I've ever had. Oh, Viva will be having some steak. She'll have some. The catfish, I've never had the fish there. And I'm not a big catfish guy either. Surprisingly enough, I don't dig on catfish very well. But yeah, I've never liked Texas Roadhouse. And every time, I remember one time I went in there, and I like my steak like a medium rare, like 130, 125 pull, and then let it kind of rest for a couple minutes and let it get up about 130, 135. And I remember the kids cutting into their steak, and my daughter wanted a medium steak, and she cut it in half, and it was just shiny. it was so raw that it was just shiny on the inside. And of course, you know, my kids, they're anything remotely bad ever happens, they're scarred. They're scarred for life. So, you know, she was scarred for life on steak for the longest time after getting that steak from there. But yeah, I looked at it, and it's so dark in there. I remember I had to get my phone out. I got my phone out and turned the flashlight on it, and I shined it on that piece of steak, and it was shiny in the center. I'm like, oh my God, that's horrifying. Cause I like a rare, you know, somewhat rare, but I like it to be cooked. I know there's folks out there that be getting baked like milk for this drink. There you go, buddy. Get it done, kid. Yeah, but yeah, she was absolutely mortified at her steak. I'm over here sitting there. We guys are staring at the pan, and I'm actually over here doing stuff. I'm actually over here peeling my garlic right now, while everybody's staring at that pan. But yeah, so I got a couple garlic cloves. I'm not going to break them down. I'm just going to throw them whole into it. When I throw let's check the temperature on that. A little water. Splish some water on that bad boy. It's getting fairly close. And I don't turn my my skillet's up really high. That's another misconception with searing, with cast iron. If you let it sit there and you let it just sit on the sit in the back and kind of warm up, it'll get good and hot. My used to grandma steak meat was still mooing. My mom couldn't handle it. Yeah, my stepdad ate like that too. My stepdad always had his steaks super, super rare, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't. I mean, let's see. Ordered medium rare and got a blue rare. Yeah, exactly. And there's the thing. I went to Pittsburgh one time. This has been years ago that I went to Pittsburgh, but I went to a steakhouse there, and my buddy was like, "You got to get the Pittsburgh Blue." And I'm like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Dude, the griddle is like just blazing hot, and then they just throw it on each side for like 30 seconds." I'm like, I don't know if I like that or not. But it was pretty good. But it was one of those things where the steak was like really crusted with like a lot of seasonings and it was almost like an everything bagel, but it was like with a steak. It was pretty good. You know what I mean? It was pretty decent. It was decent and all. It wasn't my thing, you know. It just sort of had, you know, it was like everything bagel steak, 100%. Let's see, only can reach side, good for 20 minutes on a hot skillet. Literally only each. Yeah, it's like, it's really super fast. And it wasn't my thing. It was still good. And I mean, I ate it, you know, when in Rome, I guess. But, it wasn't my deal. Let me throw this garlic in there. A little butter, a little bit of this oil. I think this is getting hot enough to where, and the other thing is I want to throw my biscuit into the oven too. And I found my tongs. Thursday's live stream, I could not find these tongs that sit right here in this thing. And what it was is the day before the live stream, I went out on the grill and I couldn't find my tongs for the grill. So I grabbed these and they were sitting on top of the grill. So when I was doing yard work yesterday, I found that. Let's see. So let's throw my biscuit into here. And I'm just going to throw that into like 50. I think I'm just going to throw that in there for like, try 10 minutes. Timer 10 minutes. Throw that in there. Get that heated up. This isn't gonna, you shouldn't, let's see. Love cast iron pans. Pat Trevino, hey, good morning to you. Let's see. I'm not a fan of, I'm in Pittsburgh and I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, I used to have a friend of mine that lived in Canonsburg. And used to go hang out with him in Canonsburg all the time. And we drove up to Pittsburgh to go hang out, and that was one of the few times, I've only been to Pittsburgh a few times, like twice probably. Twice that I can remember. I think the Bengals are playing Pittsburgh today. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just reading comments, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to quit talking on you. But I'd say that's good and ready to go. So we're going to start out, we're going to throw a little olive oil in there. Smidge of that. And let me get a pat of butter as well. And a pat of butter. And we'll throw that bad boy in there. And I definitely do not mind throwing a little bit of butter in there. There we go. And we'll toss our steak in there. And our 2 garlic cloves. There we go. We'll let that hang out in there. So that about 4 grams. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I got that sizzle. And let me see, when I get it down to about 3 minutes on the timer, I'll flip that over. I'm also going to do this, I also do the sides. And then we'll come back over here while that's hanging out. And I'm gonna cut my potato up. Cut the potato up. Hopefully this morning Val's at church, so she won't be worried about how I'm doing with my knife skills, because I do not have the greatest knife skills. I'm not one of those. If you want good knife skills, go to Benihana. But yeah, we're just gonna sliver up some potatoes. I might grab an onion too. Throw a little bit of onion in there. But I'm keeping it really simple this morning. And I already did wash the potato. I just let it sit and dry out. Put that off to the side. I don't want that piece. Yeah, I don't want that in there. There we go. I don't want that. And the Beagle wants potatoes. But the Beagle loves potatoes. I don't know what she's... I had fried potatoes and onions last night and peppers for dinner with an egg. And she smashed on some potatoes. She's a big fan. Nothing wrong with a nice potato. I think I am going to cut up an onion. Put that in there. Rita, what's going on? Good to see you. Kent, good to see you as well. Yeah, I am going to throw half an onion in there with all that. Octavia, how are you? I have an aunt, Octavia. I don't hear that name very often. That's who I actually thought it was. I thought it was my aunt. I never hear that anymore. Onion slices into there. And I'm pretty stoked. Like I said, I was really bummed out that my coffee didn't show up this morning. But because I was supposed to get coffee and cutting board oil this morning. And so far, none of them have arrived. So, not really sure what to do about the coffee situation. I wanted tea, but it just, I don't know. I thought about making tea, and then I'm like, man, I don't know. Ming, my daughter, she left a big thing of matcha tea up there. And I'm not sure how I feel about matcha tea, to be honest. I really don't know. It's okay. But I honestly think that I don't think I'm making it right. If that makes any sense at all. I don't think I'm doing it right. Let's see. Good morning to you, Shocky. Good to see you. Love potatoes. Now, I do too. I wish I had a green pepper to put in it. That's one thing I'm missing my garden already, because my peppers were. I just love the fact that, like, walking outside and grabbing a fresh green pepper right off the vine, right off the plant, and I completely miss having that. I really, really do. But I do want to get out a stick of unsalted butter for the eggs. Because that's one thing. I do not like doing my eggs in salted butter. It burns them. A lot of people think it doesn't make a difference, but if you're trying to make a really good egg in cast iron, unsalted butter is kind of the way to go with that. So I'm opening the stick of that up too. Happy Sunday, everybody. Yeah, happy Sunday to you. Bob, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Glad you could make it, Bob. We got about, I don't know, we'll bring that over here because we got about 30 seconds on the steak till we flip that over. And that'll be 5 minutes. I had to do some mathing with the, having the biscuit in the oven too. Because I'm not gonna kid. I didn't make the biscuits today. I made the biscuits like a month ago during one of the live streams, but I had one extra one. So we made biscuits and gravy. I made homemade biscuits for that. I think that was 2 ingredients. That might have been the 2-ingredient one or the layered biscuit. I can't remember. It's a layered biscuit though. And we did make it on here. We'll check out the sear on this bad boy. There we go. I'll take that. I'll take that for the sear. Get you guys over on top of that. Yeah, I'll take that for the sear. 5 minutes. 5 minutes on that side. And then we'll do the back. And if you notice too, I don't have like a ton of smoke either. There's not like a ton of smoke on this. But I do want to hit it with some spices. I want to hit it with some pepper. I do want to hit it with just a little bit of pepper. And some butter on that side. Let that kind of meld into there. Because I salted it. I don't know if I think I said that at the beginning. And there's garlic in the pan. And I'm not a fan of, I know there's a lot of folks out there that like to put rosemary on their steaks. I am not a fan of, I'm pretty tolerant of a lot of stuff, but rosemary is not in my wheelhouse. So there's that. Kind of smear that around. Let that get in there. Kind of sit and do its thing. But yeah, the sears are going great. And notice too, I do not have my, if you can see my, the knobs up there, it's not on high. It's not even on medium. It's not even the medium. And it's gonna be just fine. So we got 2 minutes. Then and once the biscuit comes out, I'll add another 3, and then we'll start doing the sides, and we'll do everything else with it. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, your biscuit's going to be cold by the time you get to it." I'm absolutely starving, so I'm going to be kind of piecing on the biscuit because it's a humongous biscuit too. Get a little get a spoon. October friends, what's up? Rare or medium? It's going to be medium rare. I'm going to pull it at about, I'm hoping that it's going to be about 125 when I pull it off. So, and when I let it sit, I don't need to let it sit. I'm just going to let it sit long enough to do the potatoes. And that's going to be about it. That's going to be all the longer I'm going to need for that. So, let's see. So we're going to add, I'm going to pull the biscuit here in 20 seconds. And then I'm going to pull the biscuit out. Then I'm going to add about 3 more minutes to this, to the timer, and we'll go from there. Because that should be enough to heat up a frozen biscuit 10 minutes at 350. But I guess we'll find out. So we'll add our 3 minutes on there, and that'll be our 5. Check the biscuit and see how it's doing. Yeah, that seems to be okay. Let it sit in there. There's the biscuit. The biscuit's done. We'll let that sit, and then we'll throw. I'm just going to throw the potatoes into the oil here with this. And once we get down to the 5 minutes, then I'm going to do about a minute. 30 seconds to a minute on either side, depending on how the steak reacts. Then we'll pop that off, let it sit. I'm about to grill some Denver steaks. Any advice? Yeah, don't leave them on very long. And salt them up, let them get to room temperature. Put your spices on ahead of time. That's about what I would, that's about all I got. And I'm not a big like Worcestershire sauce guy or steak sauce guy. So, you know, other than letting them get to room temperature, that's about all I have with that. Steaks are, to me, steak is like the easier, the more simple you keep it, the better off you are. That's just my opinion, for whatever my opinion's worth. I like to keep it really simple. Salt, pepper, garlic, that's it. And sometimes I will, like when my chives are growing in the garden, I'll cut the tops of the chives off, and I'll literally just coat the top of it with chive, like cover it. My kids always call it fuzzy steaks, and we'll do the whole thing with the chives, and when we flip it, we'll let the chives kind of grill up along with the steak. I'll take that. I think I'm just gonna do that now. Take that down off there. Here's the second side. I've got a good sear, so I don't think I'm gonna go the full 5 minutes. But there's my sear on there. And I'm gonna set that up onto its side. There we go. And we're just gonna let that hang out for like 30 seconds on there. And then I'm gonna take its temperature. Get all the sides going. So I think I might be a little past medium rare, but let's give it a look with the temperature gauge. Let's see what the temperature gauge is saying. That's still climbing though. I don't like this. I don't have a digital one anymore. My digital one I left outside. And the sun destroyed it. So we've got our side in there. Yeah, that's about halfway down in there. Because I'm rocking right. It's going to hit about 120. Once I get to the other side done, it'll be up around that temperature. I'd much rather be doing this on the grill, to be honest. I'd rather be over there doing the Denver steaks on the grill, but that's how we're doing it today. And you can see the side sear is pretty decent. We'll give that 1 minute on that side. I'm gonna check the temperature on this side. There we go. Let's see what we're rocking over there. Might let it finish that other minute on that one on the last side that it was on. Because we're rocking right underneath 120 degrees. We'll get that side sear on there, and then we'll drop it on there for about a minute, and then we'll pull that and let it rest up long enough to do the potatoes and the onions. As I'm getting splattered with grease, that's always amazing. That should be good for that side. And we'll let that sit. And there we go. And we'll give that like a minute on that one side and let it get up to temperature. And then we'll set it off to the side and let it rest. And we'll throw potatoes and onions in there. That's what we'll do. About 30 seconds. Get a temperature reading in the center. There we are. But yeah, we'll let it finish off that other minute on that one side. Check on these things. Rookie, what's going on? It's good to see you. Zoe's in. Good morning, Zoe. Good to see you. Teresa, good morning. I need iron frying pans, but they're so freaking heavy. You know, Teresa, get yourself, look for the old skillets. Look for the old skillets. Look for like old Wagners with the Hearing on the outside. Those are a lot lighter than anything made after, like what we're used to today. They're 100% better. That's at 120. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off of there in a second. We'll check out the underside. I don't want to burn it. There we go. Nice sear on the other side. Let that go, just like that. And I'm going to pull this off. Pull this off. and let it sit over here. And we're gonna get to our potatoes. I think that thing's looking great. I'm gonna turn my temp way down for the potatoes and let those catch up. Let that steak rest, because it's starting to butt over 120, so I'm gonna pull that there. I love steak with potatoes. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. It's definitely not a bad breakfast. So we'll let that kind of cool off just a second. But yeah, if you want to get a light cast iron, get something from like 1935 and before. Like my pick one favorite ware, like this one, I'll show you real quick as we're waiting on that. Like this probably weighs about, probably 2 pounds at the most. It's super light. Yeah, these old ones are really, really light. They're not like what they are today. So, it's like my mom wanted a skillet because hers were getting too heavy for her, so I got her a Wagner National. That's what she got. And she uses that one all the time. So we'll put these, I don't want that to cool down too much. These in there. These going. Splattered. There we go. Nice. Okay, salt those up. Your stove is not level. My stove is level, my burner is not. My burner is not level. That's 100%. And that, no joke. The stove's level, but the burner isn't. Same with this one. I had a piece of metal in each side of them, right? And I took when I replaced the grease catchers underneath there the last time. I don't know what I did with them. But yeah, it is an ongoing issue. Now this over here is going to be unlevel because that pan's unlevel. See how? Well, we'll give those a couple minutes. Give those 2 minutes, 3 minutes on each side of those, and those should be done. Once I flip those over, we'll put the onions in there. There we go. That's what we'll do. There we go. And I think I put salt in there. I need to put pepper in there. There we go. Nice. It's absolutely beautiful out today. I've got the door open. It says that it's only 45 degrees outside, but last time I took the dog and I were running around in the backyard, it definitely seemed like it did. Yesterday was beautiful. It was like 69 degrees. It was windy, but it's November, so that's just, it's going to be what it is. It's just going to be what it's going to be. Let's see. Get our spatula. There we go. Check out, let's see. I want to see where everybody's from this morning while we're sitting there waiting on, everybody, waiting on these potatoes to flip. Because we have a lot of new folks in from all over. I've seen Australia so far. Australia, Pittsburgh, and some of these other places, but I haven't seen too many people post up where they're at. Diane, how are you? Good to see you. The weather here is like Washington State or Washington D.C. I guess if it was Washington D.C., you'd say Washington D.C. Or a lot of people just say D.C. That's pretty cool. It's pretty early there yet. What time is it there? It's like what? 8:45 or so in the morning. Yeah, that's good. Nice. go. I know we're saying eggs, and we will do eggs. It's just the eggs are going to take like 30. It's going to take about a minute to do. There we go. There we go. Let's check out, see if anybody else has posted up where they're at. Yep, 8:45. 10:45 for you, Zoe. I'm in Schaumburg, Illinois. Awesome. Greenboro, South Carolina. Very cool. Very cool. Let me turn that. I'm gonna throw the onions in there. Oh, there's the beagle. Biggs is finally out. She knows. She can smell stuff's done. She's out here. She knows. She's got it timed out to where she knows when it's just about time to eat. Throw the onions in there. Give those about a minute. Couple potatoes I forgot. There we go. There we go. Nice. That smells great. That smells really, really, really good. Let's see, Oktoberfest. 11:47 here, Southeast Georgia. Oh, cool. Very cool. Biscuits and gravy. I wish. Biscuits and gravy sounds good. I saw something to do, kind of a spin on biscuits and gravy that I definitely want to try. I saw that somebody was doing a cook where they were making biscuits and gravy, and they look fantastic. And it was different. It was a different way of like doing biscuits and gravy. It was really, really cool. So I'm gonna try that at some point. But anyway, we're gonna get that going. We're gonna let those go for about another minute and a half. And this is where honestly I might, to speed things up, I'd maybe put the lid on it. Let's see. Your Halloween format. Yeah, I was looking. I'm trying to take it down. I was looking for the other mat, the winter mat, and I couldn't find it. I've been out tearing my garage up for like a month and a half now, of like reorganizing my garage, and so I can't find half my stuff. I went from having a nice clear walk, like a nice, my garage was like all laid out. It was kind of cluttery, but sort of laid out. It was laid out well, to where I have a path, and I have to put in all my. I've got to take and put all the patio furniture in there as well at some point. Yeah, that smells really good. These onions are really strong this time. I don't know what the difference was with my onions. So I usually get the same onions. At least I thought I got the same onions. I usually get white onions, and I get the yellow sweet onions. And these are supposed to be yellow sweet onions, but they're actually really strong. Okay. So I'm just going to give these another flip, and then we're not going to worry about them. We're just going to let them kind of do their thing. Let everything do its thing in there while we make our eggs. Gonna flip all that into a pile. Let them kind of brown up on the other side there. Turn that down, because that skillet's gonna stay hot. Skillet's gonna stay hot for a while. Man, that smells great. That smells absolutely fantastic. Okay, so let's get that over there, and then we're gonna bounce to our eggs here real quick. We're gonna jump over to. We're going to jump over here onto there. And I'm going to use, once again, like I said, I'm going to use my unsalted butter for this. I'm going to reach over on this other side. So I'm going to get my egg spatula for these. But I always use unsalted butter for my eggs, just because it just works better. It doesn't burn your eggs as bad. Use this one. Slide that onto there. There we go. Okay. And let me get my butter on there and smear that around. See you, honey Dave. See you, Zoe. Good to see you. Glad you stopped in. Ah, broke the yolk. Ain't that a bitch? It caught the edge. It caught the edge right there. Right as I was putting it on there, it caught it. I could feel it catch on the edge of that eggshell. Oh well, this is what it is. I'm not. That's how, it might be how to cook an egg, but it's definitely not how to crack an egg. Oh well, it's going to be good anyway. There we are. Let that sit. I turn my timer on. Usually go about a minute on each side for an over easy egg. I'll throw that roll back in there. Throw that biscuit back in there and let it kind of hang out and warm back up. Oh yeah. Man, I can't wait to tear into that steak. There we go, here we go, here we go. It should be just about plenty for the egg. There we go. Yeah, it's too bad that broke. That would have been a really good one. That would have been a really nice egg. Oh well. Okay. And then our timer again. 1 minute. That's going to be delicious. I can't wait. Man, this is going to be so good. With a nice big glass of milk. Man, that's going to be awesome. Big old glass of milk right straight from the dairy. Alright. Pull that bad boy off there. It's been almost 30 seconds. There you go. And we'll pop our other egg onto there. There we go. That was a little better. Those are kind of brittle. Must not have been a very good chicken. There we go. Some salt and some pepper. Yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, I like the consistency of it. I like the consistency of it. I just don't like that it didn't have the little. It didn't have the dippy part of it. I'm gonna take off these potatoes too while we're messing around, waiting on that egg to flip. Come over here. Bring you guys this way. Bring that up. The lens is getting greasy. Pop these potatoes out. There we go. Some of those. That one with it. I'm gonna want to go back. Then we'll flip the egg again. There we go. Perfect. I'll take that. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's looking not too bad. My Sunday morning breakfast. Try that onion. Pretty darn good. About another 30 seconds. I'm gonna pour my milk. Pour the milk out. Give it a good shake. You guys back this way a bit. There we go. Oh, I'm on that mat. Sorry. There. My egg over there. Turn my stove off. No stick. Glass of milk. And we'll be ready to smash. Excellent. Excellent. Good morning, Pamela. How are you? Good to see you. Kevin Mogg, what's going on, buddy? Glad you could make it. That steak, the steak is probably rested a little bit longer than I'd like it to, but I'm going in. Let's see here. I do that knife. There's that knife. I thought I had a fork. Thought I had a fork, but I don't. Let's get the inside of that. I really don't like using that. I do not like that temperature, that thermometer that I have. And there we go. It's a little, it probably got a little over, but overall, I'll take that as a medium. Got a little more medium than medium rare, but I don't like that temperature gauge. But yeah, it came out pretty good. Smash on that, give that a try. There we go. And I need my salt. I'm gonna taste it and then I'm gonna get my salt shaker. Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Oh, I don't forget my biscuit. Put that biscuit in there to heat up. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I really like that. Steak's great. All right, taste. I'm gonna taste it with the salt. I always gotta salt my steak. I like a really salty steak. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. The breakfast of astronauts. I do have tang. Let's get a little butter on that. A little butter on that biscuit. Yeah, I do. I actually do have tang right over here. I could have the breakfast of astronauts. I'm addicted. I love tang. I absolutely love tang. It's so good. And the steak is still really nice and hot too. So, like I said, I let it rest a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that takes, and just remember, you know, when it's resting, it's still cooking. But I pulled it off at just like right at a little over 120. Yeah. Yeah, poor guy. Thank you, October friends. It's really good. And this biscuit, surprisingly enough, for being in the freezer, it really came out good. So I mean, that was the one. I think this is the one. This is the one when I know it is actually now. It's the one, the biscuits we made when we did biscuits and gravy like a month ago. Biscuits really good. Mm. Mm. Wow, breakfast is great. Try out these potatoes and the onions. Mm. Wow, potatoes in that steak, in the beef tallow, man, that is really really good. It's like the perfect combination. Mm. Those are super good potatoes. Yeah. Yeah, poor Bruce. Poor Bruce dinner. I'm gonna have another piece of that steak. Now Tang sounds good. Now that everybody talking about the breakfast of champion, I really want to go mix up some Tang real quick. That sounds really good. I think I'm gonna do that right now. Mm. Yeah. Some Tang would be where it's at. Just give me 1 second. Tang calls. Yeah, that sounds really good. But yeah, that steak, and the steak is super tender. Definitely, you definitely want to take it out the night before. Throw it on a rack. Let it air out, as my kids call it. And man, that steak is so good. I'm gonna grab. Let me get my drink. Should have been doing this while I was kind of waiting on everything. But yeah, when somebody said Tang, I gotta have it. Now I gotta have it. Let me grab a lid here. Because I'm a professional Tang drinker. I just put it in a mason jar and shake it up. Just shake up my Tang. And it's ready to go. I thought I was joking. Mm. I do love it. I'm gonna do one more piece of that steak, then we'll get the dog out here. Should do a little spinning, and we'll. Hey Beagle, you want a piece of steak? Want a piece of steak, kid? That is really good steak. Give the beaks a little bit. Hey, do you want a piece of steak? Can I get a spin? Are you seriously eating dog food over there? Here, come here. There you go. There we go. Awesome. Senga, what's going on? Good to see you. I was having bourbon last night. It made me think of you. Can you sit? There you go. Sit and speak. Can you speak? Can you speak? There you go. Good job. A little steak action for the dog. Yeah, the beaks. Let me grab her one more piece. There you go. You ready? Can I get a spin? Awesome. There you go. All right, we're gonna jump out of here. I'm gonna eat my breakfast, and I gotta take the Beegs out. The Beegs is getting a bath, so she's getting brushed and bathed here in just a little bit. But I just want to thank everybody for showing up. Kevin Mong, thank you so much for showing up. Daniel, nice to see you. Bob the Builder. Greg Hart, thanks so much for moderating for me today. Heather White, thank you so much for stopping in. Senga, thank you. Good to see you. Em, good to see you. Ron Coward, thank you for showing up. All the usuals, Fuzz Fork. I'm having a hell of a time talking today. I don't know what my problem is. I'm having a heck of a time. Might have been all the bourbon last night. Then Bastard, how are you? Good to see you. yeah, and everybody else who showed up and came and hung out this morning. It's kind of short this morning, but this didn't take long. I just wanted to share with you guys how I do my steaks and my eggs, and that's about it. So I'm gonna eat my breakfast. I gotta wash the dog. I gotta clean the garage. I gotta give the dog a bath. I got all kinds of stuff to do. So I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. And I hope you have a great Sunday, and we'll see you Thursday in the comment section. All right, sleep.